Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have the next quest for the best IEMs for competitive gaming here in front of us today, with two very good contenders being the Thieaudio Monarch MK2 and the Dunu Falcon Pro. And I apologize guys, today's video is going to be in a little bit different of a format. I am just going to try to talk through, get my opinions, get my impressions out there for entertainment, multi-use purposes, and specifically for the purpose of adding a IEM to the Wallhack IEM tier list. One of our dogs is in the hospital right now, so I do want to keep my attention and my drive on him and getting him better. His video will be a little bit limited, but any questions you guys have, anything you want me to expound upon, I am certainly happy to do so. Just hit me up in the comments. And I do personally believe that the MSRP for both of these IEMs is certainly justified, but one of these does have a limitation in first-person shooters, which leads me to the Thieaudio Monarch MK2. The soundstage is definitely smaller than the Dunu Falcon Pros, and the price difference is okay. It's okay that one of these will have a greater soundstage and being less money, because the difference in audio quality is certainly there. If I was to pick these up purely for entertainment fulfillment, I would certainly go for the Thieaudio Monarch MK2 if money was of no object. Now, the Thieaudio Monarch MK2 is a tri-brid configuration. It has a 10mm dynamic driver, and it has 6 balanced armatures and 2 electrostatic drivers on both sides. And the performance in the bass is so clear, and the sub bass is so clear and so well done and articulated in a music listening experience that it never overpowers or overshadows the mids. The mids are absolutely crystal clear and phenomenally beautiful. One of the best things I have ever listened to music on, and that is saying something. And the highs are phenomenally done as well. There's really no beat that the IEM misses. And I would say that the sub bass is definitely its area of perfection. It is something that you feel, it's not going to be a bass head's most boomy and top pick if you're really looking for that boom, boom. But as far as the sub bass and bass, you feel it in you when you are listening to a track. You know, when you're at a music concert and you're getting closer and closer and closer to the stage where the subwoofers are, you begin to feel it in your body, and I certainly could feel that bass going down my throat. So it does have a very nice punch to it, and that is one of the flaws in gaming, is that when you are the primary shooter, or you are popping, let's say, a shield cell while a Gibraltar ultimate is going off in Apex, or a Bangalore ultimate is going off in Apex, a lot of those sub-bass regions and bassy regions are very overpowering, in the sense that it is hard to pick up a little bit of the mids to the highs when it comes to footsteps or metallic, tingy sounding clothing effects when somebody is sliding in game. So those frequencies become a little bit overpowered because the soundstage is a little bit more narrow than something like the Dunu Falcon Pro. But that is not to say that the Monarch MK2 does not perform well in game. It does, but it does have drawbacks in those areas, and for that reason, I would not put it in the Wallhack IEM tier list. But again, if you want a one-and-done solution for an absolutely beautiful entertainment experience while still getting a very good gaming experience, the Thieaudio Monarch MK2 is certainly a beautiful IEM. The Monarch MK2 has an extremely well-performing bass and sub-bass with a natural response with mid-bass that smoothly transitions into the mids, which are extremely well-detailed and very well separated, even while having an extremely well-performing and smooth bass and sub-bass response. The highs are present and superb, but never have too much sparkle. So I think the highlight with the Monarch MK2s are just its superb tonality, blending it all together, and the mids in particular being extremely beautiful. But a thing that happens on the Monarch MK2s is that as you have grenades going off, you have a ultimate going off, and let's say in this scenario with these noises going off, you are trying to heal, and you have enemies pushing you simultaneously, the depth of the noise of the shield cell coming in and healing you basically makes it almost impossible to hear from where and how many enemies are pushing you while all of those sound cues are going off. You just can't hear some of the further and more subtle sound details as a result of the soundstage and sub bass. When we get to the Dunu Falcon Pro, we are getting a soundstage that is definitely wider, and these are certainly no slouch when it comes to a music and entertainment listening experience. Going from the $1,000 Monarch MK2 to the Dunu Falcon Pros, for repeat and long hour sessions music listening, you can certainly tell the difference, as you should, for that price jump. But the Dunu Falcon Pro is, again, a very good listening experience with a mild V-shaped sound. I would say the bass is fun, the bass is punchy. I personally didn't feel the bass overpowering any of the mids. I thought vocals were very well done. And going into the highs, I did not feel a lot of sibilance. I thought the highs were pretty smooth and nothing that felt overpowered by its a little bit elevated mid bass. And where these shine is its imaging and its soundstage. Again, the soundstage is wide, but it's also a little bit long. So I was able to get a more precise localization of enemies in game as far as elevation, either somebody above me, somebody below me. And I had absolutely no issue whatsoever picking up enemies in a 360-degree radius. But one of the most difficult things in gaming is being able to get that layering and that separation when too many things are going on. I want to be able to pick up footsteps when I'm popping a shield cell in Apex. If I'm using abilities, I want to still be able to hear people coming at me from different directions in Valorant. When grenades are going off in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, I still need to be able to pick up enemy footsteps and hear gunshots around the map where my teammates might be getting shot from and exactly what distance and direction, so I know where they are if I am going to peek with my teammate in a competitive Counter-Strike match. The Dunu Falcon Pros do absolutely phenomenal in perfectly giving me an opportunity to be able to localize everything that is going on around me while I am the primary actor and those personal sound effects are going off in game. I did not feel overwhelmed like I did on the Thieaudio Monarch MK2 on several occasions. And is it justified to pick up a different IEM that has those capabilities when a lot of those scenarios are a little bit far and few between? You know, when you have multiple grenades going off, you're popping shield cells, a Gibraltar ult is going off in Apex Legends. That is a lot of sound effects happening all at the same time. And unfortunately, while as rare as it might be, it does happen frequently enough for you to require, if you want to not feel overwhelmed, in my opinion, something like the Dunu Falcon Pros, where the bass is actually surprisingly not overwhelming for a lot of those audio cues in both Valorant, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and Apex, but has the wider sound stage, which probably is the reason for why those bassy sounds aren't overwhelming, because you're not in them, like the Thieaudio Monarch MK2. And I do want to show you guys some clips that I was able to get with these in Apex Legends. Some of these clips are very, very hectic with many, many things going on. And hopefully you can see how my crosshair placement is affected by having very, very good audio and hearing those audio cues with perfection. So guys, that is it for this part of the quest for the best IEMs for competitive gaming. Again, the Thieaudio Monarch MK2, one of the best things I have listened to music on. I can understand why audiophiles love the Monarch MK2. And again, the gaming performance was actually very, very good, just held back in many scenarios, which would make me personally feel overwhelmed, something that was resolved by swapping to the Falcon Pro. So again, both of these are extremely good because the gaming price to performance ratio on the Falcon Pro is exceptionally good. These are going to be entering the IEM Wallhack tier list and will probably bump out the Dunu Studio SA6 based on price to performance ratio. Again, an extremely good single dynamic driver for video gaming purposes, especially if you are wanting to use them as a tool for competitive purposes. I hope that helped, guys. If it did, please leave a sub to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next review. Peace.